oil analysis says it increasingly appears that Iran has at least partially lost control of the strait. Just a month ago, Kpler was seeing virtually no shipping traffic through the Omani route. Iran's preferred route has seen a sharp decline in traffic. That has also affected Iran's ability to collect tolls on ships passing through the waterway. At the same time, Gulf countries are adopting new strategies to move their oil. Kuwait, Saudi Arabia and the UAE have reportedly chartered some of the world's largest oil tankers. These vessels move oil through the Strait of Hormuz and then transfer the cargo to other tankers outside the danger zone in the Gulf of Oman. Some tankers are also switching off their transponders to avoid Iranian attacks, creating what is known as dark traffic. This means the exact volume of oil moving through the strait is difficult to determine. The US, however, claims that oil flows are significantly higher than traditional estimates suggest. US Energy Secretary Chris Wright has put combined oil transits through the strait and rerouted shipment at around 15 million barrels per day over 1 week. That is much closer to the pre-war average of around 20 million barrels per day. This has prompted President Donald Trump to claim that the US has total control over the Strait of Hormuz, but the available evidence does not support such a clear-cut conclusion. And analysts say Iran has not completely lost its ability to deter shipping. So the big question is, has Iran genuinely lost control of Strait of Hormuz? On this issue, I'm joined by Major General Sudhakarji and Raja Kartikeya from Takshashila Institution. Thank you both of you for joining. Let me straight away go to General Sudhakarji. General Sudhakarji, you know, this new observation analysis say 80%. What are the strategic repercussions on it? I'm not going to the business side first. The strategic repercussion of neutralizing Iran in the Strait of Hormuz and 80% of the traffic passing through the Omani route.
Good afternoon, Kartikeya. Thank you for inviting me for your show. I also extend warm greetings to your name type, Mr. Kartikeya, and wish him all the very best. At the very outset, I'm prompted to, recount a book which I read long time back, Tim Marshall's book, The Prisoners of Geography. Those who have read the book, they will bear me out that, and those who know the geography of Iran, that it is well said and well claimed that 80% of the traffic is moving, but having been on ground myself, having seen it will be possible towards Omani coastline, and 80% means at any point in time prior to this incident took place or the blockade took place in Strait of Hormuz, roughly around 117 vessels used to move on daily basis. So if you take 80% of that, you can well count how much does it come to. And towards the Omani coast, those who have had a look in their own eyes, they would also bear me out that the passage is so designed naturally. The incoming inbound and the outbound lanes are actually towards the coastline of Iran. And towards the Omani side, although they claim that 80%, the natural alignment of the lanes are not cut out and designed to take 80% of the traffic. When I say 80%, what it means is that there has to be an inbound lane and there has to be an outbound lane. Each lane is approximately 2.5 to 3 kilometers wide. They have a separating lane in between, so that doesn't leave that much of space to accommodate the inbound and outbound. However, going by the statistics that you are stating, 80%, let's give the devil its due. If it is happening, it's welcome development as far as America concerned, but I suspect the coffee is smelling that there is a lot of foul play in these statistics. There is an information warfare going in, and it is not a true story being depicted.
Okay, I think that's an important point. Just hold on. Yeah. That's an important point. Raja Kartikeya, is it the information warfare that because, Trump on social media, he's put out a picture, that the Strait of Hormuz belongs to them, sort of a picture he put out on Greenland a year ago, that, Greenland will have an American flag. So he's done something like that.
Well, thank you, Kartikeya. President Trump is a master of the art of the deal. He's into negotiations are his forte. And as part of the negotiations, he does believe in putting psychological pressure on the opposite side. And that's exactly what he's doing. So this picture, etc., is a form of, it's trying to coerce the Iranians at a time when the 60 days of the MOU have finished. Now the Iranians are saying they're getting into a fully offensive posture, whatever that means. So this is a way of pressuring them. What is certain is this: one, the Strait of Hormuz does not belong to any country, and it's governed by the as an international waterway. It's governed by the UN Convention on Law of the Seas, and even though the US has not ratified it, but the US considers it as customary international law, and in fact uses the provisions of the same convention when doing patrols in the South China Sea. So, and Article 38 of UNCLOS, the UN Convention on Law of the Seas, is very clear that bordering states should provide unimpeded passage to ships and vessels going through a strait. And it also means that you cannot simply claim a strait, as a country from outside. So I don't give too much credence to that. What you have said earlier, I do agree that Iran it cannot retain control over this strait through periodic launch of projectiles. This is not a sustainable thing for Iran. Iran has limited capacity to do this, and I think the sooner Iran reaches a deal with the US and with Oman over the passage through the strait, the better it is for all concerned.
Absolutely. So coming back to you, General Sudhakarji, I showed you that, the post which Donald Trump had put out, the new territory of the United States. Even if I take your point, this is more about the pressure tactic or the position which Raja Kartikeya was saying that, these are the positions which Trump takes, very aggressive, very strong, very bombastic positions, before a resolution can be made. But with the new UAV technologies, this is on the defense side, sir. With the new UAV technologies, unmanned vehicle technologies, is it really possible to now secure these narrow straits?
Well, the fact of the matter is, you are talking about the securing and the safety of the vessels which are moving in. And you see, the sea lanes are actually denied. There is a sea denial method by deploying the mines. Mines are of different types. There are floating mines. There are submersible. So the mines under the water. There are swaying mines. So, but because of these factors, at some point in time, we always used to take that the Omani coastline, sea lanes hugging the Omani coastline, they were totally mined. Now that it is claimed that the Americans have cleared it, that's fine, well taken. But as far as the UAVs are concerned, they can only do the surveillance part, not the clearance part. Second thing that I wish to say, that you need to understand that the complete Strait of Hormuz is dominated by very steep cliff. Strait of Hormuz is spread over a stretch of 145 to 190 kilometers, and towards the Irani coastline side, they have got very steep cliffs, and the steep cliffs, then the hill ranges start off. On the steep cliffs, they have the Iranian gun positions, they have the missile silos, they have got anti-ship missiles, etc., etc. Plus, there are huge, very deep tunnel network which are working. Towards Oman side, it may not be so. I don't remember having seen those kind of, very cliff or deep gorges which are hugging the lines or the sea lanes. However, the fact remains that it is very easy for anybody who's either on Oman side or on Iran side with a missile capability of going up to the range of 1,500 kilometers, anti-ship missiles going up to 800 kilometers or so, to engage anything and everything. More than that, when you talk about the denial or domination, what is domination? Going by the military explanation, anything that you can actually deny the safe passage by any method, whether it is the mid-gate submarines underneath, or you have the mines, or the drones. There is a new thing which I am learning from my friend from Russia. He said there are Poseidons also which have come in, which I don't believe. Poseidons are basically, you have drones under the water, the Russian made Poseidons. These are very deadly things, and in a shallow kind of water in Strait of Hormuz, they cannot be. But suffice to say, anybody who's on a dominating ground will be able to prevent safe passage of any vessel, inbound or outbound, either from aerial platform or underwater or from the surface. Back to
Okay.
you.
Raja, what is your assessment? Do you think that this normalcy which we witness in Hormuz is an expression of the US might or is an expression of larger diplomacy at play?
So I have, I know a little bit of the topography. I've crossed a part of the strait myself. I've, lived in the region. I'll say this strait is not easy to defend. It's, as the General Sudhakar said, the aggressor always has an advantage in the topography of this strait. It's not just the shallowness of the waters. Given that the average draft of a tanker can be 15 meters, 20 meters, and there are places where the waters here are maximum, let's say, 60 meters deep, and I think there's a risk which every tanker owner will think twice about. What's happening now is I think the numbers we have to certainly take a second guess. We can second guess the numbers that are being put out. What's happening is apparently the Saudis and other Gulf countries seem to be using very large crude carriers. In other words, what perhaps the amount of oil they were trying to send through with say 10 tankers earlier, they're now trying to combine it and put it in say in 3 tankers, so that you have less number of ships going across. The risk is higher, but it also means that you're able to monitor them. I don't know if they're putting some kind of electronic warfare or defensive platforms on top of these crude carriers, because the cost of the crude in it inside a tanker it definitely merits putting those kind of devices. Now, what we see is a slight lull. I think it's because Iran's capacity is also getting diminished because of the continuous strikes by the US, and they are also keen on a deal. I think both sides are keen on a deal. They're not saying that they're displaying bravado, but for sure both sides need a deal very badly within the next few weeks, maybe even a couple of weeks.
General Sudhakar, do you agree? It's the need for a deal. The need really works,
I agree with Kartika what he's saying. Both sides are tired, they're fatigued, they are facing the depletion of resources. But Iran being what it is, they enjoy the asymmetric capability. And more than anything, the geography is inside of Iran. That has to be understood. And also, you got to give it to them that their basic demand is fine, they're ready for a deal, but that deal is subject to the blockade being removed, the embargo which has been imposed them, the trade barriers, the sanctions which is imposed on their oil, supply of oil, and defreezing of the frozen assets, etc., etc., a host of other things which are given in the 14-point MOU. So, subject to those conditions, I'm convinced no matter what the state, even if you give 90%. Having been depleted in case of Iran still enjoys the asymmetric capability. They are capable of denying any smooth passage as it being claimed by USA. In my opinion, it is just a false information. It's a kind of a part of a disinformation which Donald Trump and his coterie is resorting to. Nobody can dare actually have a smooth passage.
Yeah, General Sudhakar ji, today I'm doing this program on the Strait of Hormuz. I did a show on the ice Silk Road, and I was 2 countries are fighting.
Either assembly or parliament. Such a senior most leader of this country, leader of opposition in the Rajya Sabha, president of the Indian National Congress, is he deserve this type of treatment? Prime Minister is not speaking. He's keeping silent on this thing. And day by day, BJP people are attacking. Yesterday, one spokesperson of BJP told in the media, I think media department took it today, Gulami ka mansikita. What does it mean? Because still they are believing that Kharge ji is not a caste leader. Kharge ji is the president of the Indian National Congress. He is the leader of the masses of this country. But it reflects your mindset. This is a clear-cut upper caste mindset of RSS is dominating in that. Discriminative mindset is dominating through this. There was CWC totally condemned this, and we are seeking a direct apology from the Prime Minister of India on this act, because he only showed the path. He insulted, Honorable Prime Minister also insulted Khargeji several times. When the leader himself is insulting, his workers will also do the same. They will follow. That is what happened here. Therefore, CWC today discussed that, and we unanimously put a resolution that condemning that issue and asked the Prime Minister to apologize. And especially Congress Working Committee under the leadership of Rahul Gandhi and Mallikarjuna Kharge asked the Congress Chief Ministers to come with a concrete plan of restructuring of education in that state, their respective states. Because now entire students are in trouble, they are paining. The education system has to change according to the present era. Rahul Gandhi and Congress President asked the Chief Ministers in their respective state, discuss with the educational experts, have a chat with the people, those who are interested in education system, chat with the student bodies, and come with a plan to have a fruitful change in the education system. Within 1 month, we are expecting our Chief Ministers will do on this area. The CWC expressed grave concern over continuous reports of Chinese incursion, I told, and infrastructure construction in Arunachal Pradesh, met by total silence from the Union government. The PM's public clean sheet to Beijing on June 19, 2020, following the martyrdom of 20 Indian soldiers in Galwan, severely weakened India's negotiating positions. Simultaneously, India's bilateral trade deficit with China has signed to record levels, flooding domestic market with the Chinese goods and crippling India's MSMEs and manufacturing jobs. Now India foreign policy becomes a surrender policy. Whether it is with America or with China, the foreign policy becomes the surrender policy. We didn't have much stake on these things. These are the major decisions we took on CWC today. National-wide agitation will be there on Chanda Chori. Chatron ki Gunch will extend it to up to 800 cities, medium and small cities. And we will continue to stand for the students of this country.
एक मिनट रुक जाइए ना, मैं हिंदी में थोड़ा बोल दूं, इसका सारांश दे दूं हिंदी में, उसके बाद में जो कुछ आपको सवाल पूछना है पूछ लीजिएगा। आज 4 घंटे तक बैठक चली और अभी जो वेणुगोपाल जी ने आपको जानकारी दी है उसका सारांश मैं दूंगा हिंदी में। पहली बात तो ये है कि छात्रों की गूंज अब तक पिछले 2 महीने में कोटा, देहरादून, प्रयागराज में हुआ है, 22 तारीख को पुणे में होगा, और आज ये निर्णय लिया गया है कि 800 शहर और छोटे शहरों में छात्रों की गूंज अभियान चलाया जाएगा और राहुल गांधी जी भी कई शहरों में छात्रों की गूंज में भाग लेंगे। तो ये महत्वपूर्ण निर्णय था। युवाओं को लेकर इस पर काफ़ी लंबी चर्चा हुई और राहुल जी ने और खड़गे जी ने हमारे 4 मुख्यमंत्री को कहा है कि अगले 1 महीने के अंदर अपने राज्यों में शिक्षा प्रणाली और परीक्षा प्रणाली में क्या सुधार की ज़रूरत है, जो आज का माहौल को मद्देनज़र रखते हुए उसके ऊपर एक रिपोर्ट कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष को वो पेश करेंगे। और जैसा कि वेणुगोपाल जी ने कहा, ये एक्सरसाइज अगले 1 महीने में ख़त्म होगा। दूसरी बात, सारे देश में सभी राज्यों में ये सिर्फ उत्तर प्रदेश तक सीमित नहीं होगा। ये चंदा चोरी, जो चंदा चोरी के खुलासे हुए हैं राम मंदिर ट्रस्ट को लेकर, राम मंदिर ट्रस्ट का गठन प्रधानमंत्री ने खुद 5 फरवरी 2020 को लोकसभा में किया था। वो अब ये नहीं कह सकते कि ये राज्य का विषय है, इस पर अपनी चुप्पी तोड़नी चाहिए और इस पर कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए, सुप्रीम कोर्ट मॉनिटर्ड इंक्वायरी होनी चाहिए। पर इसके अलावा कांग्रेस पार्टी सारे राज्य में, सारे देश में, हर अलग अलग राज्यों में ये चंदा चोरी के खिलाफ ये अभियान निकाला जाएगा। तीसरी बात जो अभी वेणुगोपाल जी ने कहा कि चीन को लेकर, अमेरिका को लेकर जो बार बार सरेंडर हो रहा है मोदी सरकार के द्वारा और स्वयं प्रधानमंत्री द्वारा, इस पर CWC ने बहुत अपनी गहरा चिंता व्यक्त की। और हमें देखने को मिल रहा है कि 19 जून 2020 को प्रधानमंत्री ने पब्लिकली चीन को एक क्लीन चिट दिया था। उस क्लीन चिट की वजह से हम कमज़ोर हुए हैं। जहां हमारे नागरिक जाया करते थे लद्दाख में, करीब 20-25 जगहों में अभी नहीं जा सकते। पेट्रोलिंग राइट हमारा घटा गया है। और इसके अलावा भी अरुणाचल में भी चीन का पर काफ़ी लोगों ने इस पर अपना खेद प्रकट किया। शुद्धिकरण के बारे में जो कुछ हम कह सकते हैं वो कम होगा। ये संविधान के खिलाफ है, मानवता के खिलाफ है, कानून के खिलाफ है और इस पर प्रधानमंत्री चुप है। हल्द्वानी में जो शुद्धिकरण किया गया खड़गे जी के भाषण के बाद, ये बीजेपी के कार्यकर्ता इसमें जुड़े हुए थे, बीजेपी RSS की इकोसिस्टम की संस्थाएं जुड़ी हुई थी। और ये कहना कि ये कुछ लोगों ने ये किया, ये बिल्कुल गलत होगा। हकीकत ये है कि ये बीजेपी इसमें पूरी तरीके से शामिल थी और प्रधानमंत्री को माफ़ी मांगना चाहिए इस शुद्धिकरण पाप के लिए। ये एक पाप है, गोरा पाप है और ये संविधान के खिलाफ है। परिसीमन को लेकर जैसा कि अभी वेणुगोपाल जी ने आपको कहा, मैं एक बार फिर दोहरा दूं, कांग्रेस पार्टी की राय है कि मौजूदा लोकसभा की संख्या 543 है। वो अगले 25 साल तक 543 ही रहने के पक्ष में है। उसमें जो हर एक राज्य का हिस्सा है वही रहे अगले 25 साल तक। और इस 543 वाली लोकसभा में 1/3 महिला आरक्षण, जिसके लिए सितंबर 2023 को अधिनियम बना था और जो 16 अप्रैल 2026 को 3 साल बाद वो नोटिफाई हुआ, उसको लागू करने की मांग आज CWC ने किया। तो ये सारांश था। अगर आपके इसके साथ साथ संगठन सृजन कार्यक्रम के जुड़े हुए एक दस्तावेज है, एक डिटेल्ड रिपोर्ट है, अब प्रोग्रेस रिपोर्ट है, अब तक संगठन सृजन कार्यक्रम में क्या क्या किए गए हैं, क्या उपलब्धियां हुई हैं, उसका एक डिटेल्ड नोट आपको अभी भेजा गया है। अगर अभी आपके पास कुछ सवाल हैं, जैसा कि मैंने कहा, ये 3 बड़े मुद्दे थे। आप इन्हीं मुद्दे पर और जो मुद्दे पर चर्चा हुई उसके अलावा परिसीमन को लेकर, शुद्धिकरण को लेकर अगर आपके कुछ सवाल हैं तो हमारे महामंत्री से पूछ सकते हैं।
केसी सर, ये तो आपने डिटेल में बताया कि किन चीज़ों पर चर्चा हुई। इसके अलावा सवाल यह है कि क्या वंदे मातरम को लेकर के जो कंट्रोवर्सी चल रही है, 6 स्टैंजा बनाम 2 स्टैंजा, क्या इसको लेकर के चर्चा हुई? और क्या पार्टी ने CWC मीटिंग में डिसाइड किया कि जो 1937 का रेजोल्यूशन था उसके हिसाब से 2 स्टैंजा ही कांग्रेस अपने प्रोग्राम्स में गाएगी?
There is no confusion on that. Today CWC Congress president categorically told yesterday he CP का press conference दा clarify कर दिया, but again today Congress working committee में भी हम discuss कर दिया. हमारा stand very clear है. 1937 का resolution महात्मा गांधी जी, पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू जी, रविंद्रनाथ ठाकुर जी, सुभाष चंद्र बोस जी, this type of Sardar Patel ji, this type of topmost leadership of that point of time decided that whatever the decision they took, we will abide that decisions. We are very, very clear on that, that our Congress party workers will do that only. This is our decision. First two stands.
28 अक्टूबर 1947 को वंदे मातरम 37 को वंदे मातरम पर एक प्रस्ताव पारित किया गया था. उस प्रस्ताव में जब पारित किया गया सीडब्ल्यूसी की बैठक में महात्मा गांधी, पंडित नेहरू, सरदार पटेल, नेताजी सुभाष चंद्र बोस, मौलाना आज़ाद, राजगोपालाचारी, गोविंद वल्लभ पंत और अन्य नेता आचार्य नरेंद्र देव मौजूद थे. और रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर, गुरुदेव रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर के सलाह से ही वो प्रस्ताव पारित किया गया था. और आज उस पर चर्चा हुई. कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष ने उस प्रस्ताव के कुछ अंश भी पढ़े और इसमें कोई कंट्रोवर्सी नहीं है, कोई सवाल नहीं है. ये बार बार ये मुद्दा बनाया जा रहा है. आज का मुद्दा युवा है, आज का मुद्दा परीक्षा है, आज का मुद्दा चंदा चोरी है, विदेश नीति की विफलता है. ये इसको लेकर कोई मुद्दा, इसमें कोई कंट्रोवर्सी नहीं है. हमारा स्टैंड बिल्कुल स्पष्ट रहा है पहले दिन से. 1937 जो अक्टूबर 28 का रेजोल्यूशन है, 24 जनवरी 1950 संविधान सभा के आखिरी बैठक में संविधान सभा के तत्कालीन अध्यक्ष जो हमारे रिपब्लिक के पहले राष्ट्रपति बने डॉक्टर राजेंद्र प्रसाद ने उसी को दोहराया कि नेशनल एंथम जन गण मन होगा और नेशनल सॉन्ग वंदे मातरम होगा.
Venugopal ji, this Vande Mataram and national anthem are emotional things for Congress party, but it is political for Bharatiya Janata Party. That is the difference between we and them.
Venugopal ji, on 15th of August.
That's why we clearly, yesterday itself, I think when Congress president was in Goa, in front of him, we demonstrated it. There is no question after that. Our stand is very clear on that.
Venugopal ji, on 15th August, AICC put out a circular saying that the entire Vande Mataram should be sung. And on AICC, this is what... One minute, please, let me finish. 1 minute.
Where is the circular?
You have it.
Usually circular is go in the name of me.
No, yeah. It should be in your name.
Congress circular will go in the name of my name.
In the morning in Venugopal ji, can I finish my question? In the morning in AICC, the full song was sung and states were told to do this. But this was apparently not communicated to the big leadership in the Congress party. That's why we saw this confusion in Indira Bhavan. Now, has this been resolved and who was responsible for this?
Nothing is there. That is clearly a communication gap only. We are very much clear about that, what happened there. Therefore, nothing is there. That chapter is already closed. These are the version of BJP to distort the entire national issues about the paper leak and others.
Sir, what was Mr. Rahul Gandhi's message at the meeting? He has been taking up the issue of education through these Chhatroni Kunj programs. What was his message? What was Mr. Rahul Gandhi's message at the meeting?
His message is very clear that the national leadership is in utter confusion. They are not in a position to deliver. They are in a total failure mode. Therefore, now we have to take the issues of the students, issues of the Kisan, and we have to fight for them. This is what Rahulji told very clearly to the party workers, party leaders. Be stand with students, come what may. Be stand with the students.
Sir,
Hi. I have a question about the Sangathan's region Abhiyan. Since it was discussed, were there any shortcomings of the program or any challenges in the program that were raised by any of the?
Nothing. Everybody welcomed that program. After so many years, Congress has done this type of organizational revamping. You can see it in the records. Because you have to understand, one DCC president is selected by most of the people from that district, Congress people. Older days, what has happened? PCC president and CLP leaders sit together and they will send a list to High Command, we will approve it. Now what is the senior observers, CWC members, PCC presidents, former ministers are going to the district and they are calling the meeting of block level and they are calling the meeting of mandal level. At least minimum 2,000, 3,000 people in that district, they are consulting one-to-one and taking the reports and presenting 6 names here. After that, we will have a discussion with the leaders also, we will finalizing. After DCC, block also the same level, mandal also the same level, booth also the same level, BLA 2 also. After this, we are checking with physically, whether it is in paper or in physical. That's why we are very much satisfied about the, and then also one rider is also there. We will examine 6 months. If somebody, we are having a clear assessment of their function. If somebody having shortcomings, we will replace them.
Venugopal ji, you have just
Sir,
mentioned,
मैं सवाल delimitation पे है.
Chief ministers were asked to submit a report on examination restructuring. Do you mean to say that they have to implement it in 1 month, or you just
No, not in 1 month implement. It is a long process. So, because what we are already about the examination system, what lacunas are there, shortcomings are there, about the education system, what is there. They should consult with the educationalist, experts. They should consult with the students' wing. And they should come with a program within 1 month. That's what we told.
Yeah, Maushami.
सर मेरा सवाल डिलिमिटेशन को लेके है, मुझे थोड़ी सफाई चाहिए इस पे कि जो आपका अभी स्टैंड है 543 सीट्स 25 साल तक फ्रीज करने की बात आप कर रहे हैं अगले 25, क्या ये डिपार्चर है पिछले जो सेशन था उसमें आपने जो स्टैंड लिया था, और क्या इसका मतलब ये है कि आप डिलिमिटेशन के बिल्कुल सख्त खिलाफ हैं कि सीट्स बढ़ानी नहीं चाहिए?
No, that's what we told. I told you can verify the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly's resolution. Unanimously, including TVK, DMK, Congress, everybody was there. Unanimously passed the resolution. After 543, you do reservation on women, 1/3. This is what our stand. And freeze karo 25 years के लिए.
अगर आप हमारे नेताओं के भाषण पढ़ने का कष्ट करेंगे, जो 16 और 17 तारीख अप्रैल को हमारे नेताओं ने लोकसभा में भाषण दिया था, राज्यसभा में भाषण दिया था, जो मैं कह रहा हूं वही कहा गया था 16 और 17 को. थोड़ा कष्ट कीजिए, वो भाषण पढ़ लीजिएगा. इसमें कोई बदलाव नहीं आया है, कोई परिवर्तन नहीं आया है. हम हमेशा से पहले से कहकर आ रहे हैं कि लोकसभा संख्या बढ़ाने के लिए कोई अर्जेंसी नहीं है, कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है. देश के सामने और बड़े महत्व मुद्दे हैं. लोकसभा की संख्या बढ़ाने की कोई जल्दबाजी मत कीजिए.
ये सर जयराम जी मेरा एक सवाल है, ये है कि वो जो जातिगत जनगणना की बात सामने आ रही है, जिसमें उसमें ओबीसी जो कॉलम है वो नहीं दिया गया है, और ड्रॉप डाउन मेनू जो शामिल होना था वो भी उसमें शामिल नहीं किया गया है. ऑप्शनल है कि आप किस जाति के हैं बताना. क्या इस मुद्दे पर भी चर्चा कांग्रेस वर्किंग कमेटी में हुई है? और क्या रणनीति बनाई गई है?
Yes, we have discussed with that also. Earlier itself, Congress President wrote a letter to the Prime Minister of India. I think we are very much concerned about that. They are going to defeat, their intention is very clear through this, that they want to defeat the caste census itself. They are cheating the people of the country.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is KC Venugopal briefing after the CWC meeting. And what is a very big and important takeaway is Congress reiterating its stand very, very clearly, making it crystal clear that they are going to stick to singing the 2 stanzas of Vande Mataram. Congress has made this open, has made this public. There is no doubt now. KC Venugopal saying it threadbare. They are going to stick to 2 stanzas of Vande Mataram. And of course, this, which also means that he has said that in continuation with the 1937 resolution of Congress, the party will stick to that line. But obviously from 1937 to 2026, a lot has changed. The Vande Mataram as an entire rendition is now at the same honor as the national anthem, which also means it's constitutionally, legislatively, legally binding. But Congress, in defiance, saying that they will not follow that legal and constitutional mandate, they will stick to what was their resolution of 1937. I'm being joined by News9's managing editor, Kartikeya Sharma. Kartikeya, a big takeaway from CWC, Congress very defiant.
Yeah, it has a lot of meanings attached to it and multiple repercussions. The first thing is that Vande Mataram was the song of